Hi guys, hope you're all doing well today and all feeling great. Today I want to talk to you about emotional release and why this is important. Now, what we tend to do with emotions, if we don't want to deal with them, we tend to store them within our bodies. And what this can actually cause, it can end up causing pain, illness, making people feel really sick, and it causes disease. That's what it does by holding on to emotions and not allowing them to release. Now, a lot of people used to say, oh, men just cannot cry, which that for me just says that men are going to probably have a lot more stored emotions than women. And it is absolutely ridiculous that anyone could ever say that, you know, so it's not tough for a man to cry. I've heard that many times, but at the end of the day, we've all got to release them emotions. So what we're finding is people are releasing emotions because the light is coming in and it's purging the dark energy out, which is the low vibrational energy of the emotion. So that is what it's purging out. So it's creating events within your life which make you feel like you literally cannot cope anymore, or it causes you to break down, to absolutely break down. And it's crazy how it does this, because if we're refusing, then I will talk on another video what happens and what I've seen happen to people who have just refused to let go of them emotions. So why it's important to release these emotions, and why they've been stored, you know, so fast within your body, is, like I said, one, it does all the illness, but two, it's also for us to awaken. We need to release them emotions. But three, we've also got what's called the solar storm coming. Now the solar storm is like a large number of solar flares, and over the last few months we've noticed solar flares have been coming in imminently. So what this is, it's like a solar flare from the sun, but it's happening internally within us. So each time a solar flare comes, we end up taking on that light, out comes all the negative energy, and we could be sat anywhere when the emotions arise. And when they do, it's pretty embarrassing because you can't hold them emotions back, because it's coming at such a rate that people who are lifting to the new earth, and also the others who are not going to go as high as the new earth, they are still going to purge these emotions. Because even going from 3D to 4D, you would have to get the emotions out, because the stored emotions cannot stay within you. So what we're finding is people are just saying, why am I just crying all the time? Why have I just suddenly started feeling right emotional? And trying to deal with these emotions. And what also happens is it's just a shock when it releases, because the more that there's been stored, the more there is to release. So some people say, I'm just sick of crying. I'm absolutely sick of crying. And they'll say things like, I hate my job. I hate what I'm doing in my life. I hate not having a focus or a career, because they just feel out of balance and out of sync, because it's something that they're not used to, because they've not dealt with them emotions in the past, but they're now being asked to deal with them. Not even being asked, it's happening. It's happening whether they like it or not, because the light of Christ comes in, the purge of energy comes out. So when suddenly somebody's just like walking down the street and just suddenly start crying for no reason, this is why, because it's important to release them emotional energy. So what I say is, if you can release your emotional energies privately, then you can do that. You can listen to sad songs, live through the event, think about the event that you're going to get emotional about, and have a good cry about it. But you can do it privately and personally before the solar flash comes in. because these solar flashes, if you watch them, they are happening like on a weekly basis. It's getting more and more, and there is going to be a solar storm, which is going to be lots more of the solar flare. It has been forecast, it's forecast all over the news that these solar flares are coming in. Now we know that the sun is Christ, and it's the light that comes into our energy and our being. And every time there's solar flares, you get lots of people that are dealing with the emotional side of how they are dealing with their day-to-day lives. So it has a reflection from within on the out on what is happening every single day in your life. So, but what the message is where do you want these emotions to be released? It's not when or how or it's not going to happen. It's happening. It's happening, so you need to get used to it, because this is going to really shake us up. It's going to shake us to the core, because as the solar flares have been coming in now and releasing, we've all felt a little bit of a shake. But when we start coming in, and they start coming in a mass amount, that is when we will start to really experience the feeling of this is real, and this is happening. But we're already starting to feel it with change of jobs, change of careers, people looking at what they want to do with their life, not happy in the current lives. How are they going to change what it is that they're doing? It's everyone I've met is going through something like that. So everybody is trying to work out what do I do now? What do I do? Because lives feel shaken up, and they feel like they're just being changed, and the emotional energy is just purging up through the body. They're being shook to the core, and they're suddenly feeling the energy of a Christ-like energy, which is now starting to take its toll on people, because then they feel all the guilt, the embarrassment, the shame, the rejection. But they've only rejected themselves from themselves. They've not rejected themselves from Christ by not going to church or by sinning and things like that. They're actually doing it on themselves, so they feel it themselves, which means that they've got a lot more emotional baggage. This emotional baggage has got to be lifted. It's got to be lifted, and it's got to be shifted, because it cannot stay within the body. So when you think of, okay, what is low vibrational emotions and energy as well, you're going to face things like fear of what happens if I didn't pay my bills, what happens with fear. And these are all the emotions that come to the surface so that you can deal with them, But what I want to talk about is why it's important to release them. The first point, it's important to release your emotions, because it's no good for your health and well-being and your mental health. People get stuck in ruts because they're not releasing their emotional energy. They'll go to the doctor will give them some tablets, and that purges the energy down further. It doesn't allow it to release. And then what happens is they go for a massive release, because when this light comes in, it pushes it really through the body, and they will just have the biggest burst of outcry, crying, and we're seeing it all over the place. People are just walking down the street and it's happening for no reason. They're not understanding why it's happening. So just to let you know that Christ is doing the energy release, and the energy release is based through the solar flares from the sun. It takes place within us, which is on the outside, reflection in how we are on a day-to-day basis. So release those energy, guys. Release them as much as you can, and I would just release them very much personally, because that's how I dealt with that. Just thought my dog is having a minute. So have a great day, guys. Please like, please subscribe, please enjoy another video. I'm the only person that can move house, start a new job, and do YouTube every single day. So I've just been really busy. So please like, please subscribe, and please share this video, guys, and please leave comments below of what you're experiencing with the emotional raising of the energies of the solar flares. Okay, have a great day, guys. See you in another video. Bye for now.